Imagine standing in the middle of endless green fields, the wind quietly moving through rows of corn. It feels peaceful, ordinary even. But what if I told you that beneath this calm landscape lies one of the most surprising and untold stories in American history? A story of ancient giants, mysterious discoveries, forgotten wars, and a state that quietly helped shape the future of the entire nation. This is the hidden history of Iowa, a place most people think they already understand, but almost nobody truly does. Long before highways, farms, and small towns covered this land, Iowa was home to a powerful and highly organized civilization. Over 1,000 years ago, a culture known today as the Mississippian culture thrived across the Midwest. These people were master builders who created massive earth mounds used for ceremonies, burials, and political gatherings. In northeastern Iowa lies one of the most mysterious sites in North America, Effigy Mounds National Monument. From the sky, the earth itself forms shapes of bears, birds, and other animals, carefully constructed more than 1,000 years ago. Imagine the effort required. Entire communities working together without modern tools, shaping the land with purpose and meaning. Even today, archaeologists still debate their exact spiritual significance. For the native nations who lived here, the land was sacred. Tribes like the Meskwaki tribe and the Sauk tribe hunted the forests, farmed the fertile river valleys, and built thriving communities along the mighty Mississippi River. But in the early 1800s, everything began to change. One of the most dramatic events in Iowa's early history involved a man named Black Hawk. He was a respected leader of the Sauk people who refused to accept a controversial treaty that forced his tribe to leave their ancestral land. In 1832, determined to return home, Black Hawk led a group of Sauk families back across the Mississippi River. What followed became known as the Black Hawk War. Although the conflict lasted only a few months, its consequences reshaped the region forever. When it ended, vast areas of land were opened for American settlers, land that would soon transform into the farms and towns that define Iowa today. But Iowa's history doesn't just include conflict. It also holds remarkable stories of courage and quiet heroism. During the years leading up to the American Civil War, Iowa became an important stop on the Underground Railroad. Hidden routes passed through farms, barns, and small towns across the state. Ordinary families risked everything to hide and protect people escaping slavery. There is a story often told about a small farmhouse near the town of Tabor, Iowa. Local residents secretly sheltered freedom seekers in cellars and hidden rooms before guiding them further north toward safety. For those escaping bondage, Iowa was more than farmland. It was a gateway to hope. As the 19th century moved forward, Iowa quietly became one of the most important agricultural regions in the world. Its soil, formed over thousands of years by glaciers and prairie grasses, is some of the richest on Earth. Today, the state produces more corn than almost anywhere else in the United States. But Iowa's farms have influenced much more than just food supply. Advances in farming technology, crop science, and soil conservation developed here have helped feed millions of people across the globe. Yet agriculture is only part of Iowa's surprising legacy. One of the most important scientific institutions in the country emerged here, Iowa State University. During World War II, researchers connected to the university played a secret role in one of the most consequential projects in modern history, the Manhattan Project. In laboratories far from the battlefields of Europe and the Pacific, scientists in Iowa helped refine methods for producing uranium metal. Their work contributed to the development of nuclear technology that would ultimately change the course of the war and the future of global science. But perhaps one of the most surprising things about Iowa is its influence on American culture and politics. Every 4 years, the eyes of the entire nation turn to this quiet Midwestern state during the Iowa caucuses. These early presidential contests often shape which candidates rise and which disappear long before the national election. It is a reminder that even a state known for calm landscapes and small communities can have enormous national influence. And there are smaller stories too. Stories that rarely appear in textbooks. For example, many people don't know that the town of Lamars, Iowa, proudly calls itself the ice cream capital of the world. The famous dairy company Wells Enterprises, which produces the beloved Blue Bunny ice cream, began there and grew into one of the largest ice cream producers in America. Another lesser-known story involves a young farm boy who grew up in Iowa during the early 1900s. That boy, Herbert Hoover, would later become the 31st President of the United States. Born in the small town of West Branch, Iowa, Hoover's life journey took him from rural poverty to global humanitarian work and eventually to the White House. Yet despite these contributions, Iowa often remains overlooked in popular history. Perhaps that's because its story isn't built on towering skyscrapers or dramatic battles alone. Instead, Iowa's legacy is woven through quiet determination, through farmers shaping the land, families protecting freedom, scientists advancing knowledge, and communities building something lasting together. When you drive across Iowa today, the scenery may seem simple at first glance. Rolling fields, long country roads, small towns where everyone seems to know each other. But hidden beneath that simplicity are centuries of stories. Stories of ancient mound builders, brave tribal leaders, freedom seekers traveling by night, groundbreaking scientists, and ordinary people whose actions quietly influence the world. So the next time someone thinks of Iowa as just farmland, remember this: the land that feeds millions, the state that helped shape presidential elections, the home of ancient mysteries still visible from the sky. All of it exists in one place. And that place is Iowa, a state whose history is far deeper, richer, and more extraordinary than most people ever imagine.